It's Tehatchpod time. Maya Acosta joined by Claire Scotty today with the Chamber of Commerce. Claire, how are you?
I'm doing good. At the time of this recording, it's right before Christmas.
Yes, it is.
And oh my gosh, just so many fun things. You get the hectic Christmas spirit, but it's also, friends and family coming into town and, just wrapping up the year and looking back and seeing what we accomplished in 2024 and then looking ahead and getting excited about 2025.
Yes, absolutely. There's tons to get into. And speaking of accomplishments, we are joined by Amber Bell, owner of Mama Bear Brows, who just opened or had your grand opening here a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited.
Yes,
Yay.
Of course. So we'll get all into Mama Bear Brows and what services Amber provides for the community here in a bit. But first, we'll get into the chamber business. So Claire, where do you want to start? Do we want to take a look at what's coming up or kind of give our year in review of what the chamber has done this year?
Yeah, I know. That's hard. Why don't we kind of talk about a little bit about what the chamber's impact was in 2024 and what we accomplished, and then looking ahead and getting excited about what is to come.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so we at the chamber were super busy all 2024. We put on the wine walk in February, which was a huge success, brought that back, and we had over 750 tickets sold. So many local businesses in town that were open and had some of the best days on record. This year, we're going to talk about some new updates and some fun things with that in just a minute. And then we had Tehachapi's Finest Gala, where we got to celebrate our large business winner, small business citizen of the year, and a nonprofit. We had the Wind Festival for the first time, where we got to celebrate Tehachapi's wind, renewable energy, and then all the local kids got to fly kites for free. Thank you again to Sim Sanitation for sponsoring that, and Sarah Coso for coming out and just being one of the greatest sponsors for that. That was at Meadowbrook Park, and we've got plans in the future to bring that back again this next year.
All right.
We had an amazing job fair where we were able to service and help over 150 job seekers in our community and try to pair them with local job opportunities. Mountain Festival brought in over 15,000 people and, all local handcrafted, goodies, music, entertainment, good food, just an awesome opportunity to celebrate Tehachapi in the summertime. And then we had Thunder on the Mountain Car Show, which was on its own unique date this year. And that, again, 300 classic cars right down here, downtown Tehachapi. That was such a hoot and a half, and we're very excited to bring that back and expand that event. We had Apple Festival for the first time this year as the chamber as the host. And, that was really exciting to celebrate Tehachapi's harvest season and apples and pumpkins and lavender and all the wonderful things that are harvested here in Tehachapi. We celebrated our veterans on Veterans Day with a resource fair, and we got to collaborate with amazing groups and people in our community in the city of Tehachapi and TVRPD. Everybody came together for that event, and it was just amazing to see how strong our community is. And then the Christmas parade, topping off the end of the year with record-breaking numbers of entries. We had 52 entries this year and thousands of people coming downtown to just see and be a part of the holiday spirit.
Yes.
So,
tons of stuff that the chamber did this year, and so many opportunities for providing these experiences for the community, chances to make memories and have fun and get out there with friends and family. And we talk about this often on our weekend update, that if you're saying that there aren't things to do in Tehachapi, then you are just well misinformed, because clearly there is a ton that goes on, and the chamber is one of those entities that really helps keep everybody busy and provide, enrichment, I guess you could say, to what we have here in town.
Yes. And with every event is an economic boost.
Right.
So we're bringing people into the community, either visitors or bringing people out of their homes to come and celebrate. And with that comes some spending of a little bit of money. And that helps boost all of our local small businesses and get people out to maybe see some businesses that they didn't know about before. Mm-hmm. And so with every event comes an opportunity to boost our local economy.
Yeah. It's always interesting to see the AI data that Corey is able to pull, where it shows, people may come out for Mountain Fest, for example, and they go to Central Park for an hour or two, but then you see that they go downtown and they eat at Kelsey's, and then they stop by Auntie M's Antiques, or, any various combination of things. But it is just very fascinating to see. It's not just the event, it's coming to experience the whole community, whether it be people that are just even coming in town from Bear Valley or Stallion, or coming up the hill from the AV or Bakersfield. These events really do impact the community as a whole.
Yes, they do. And we want to keep improving them and bringing that attention, that good attention to Tehachapi.
Yes.
So, yes.
Absolutely.
This was an amazing year for ribbon cuttings and grand openings. We celebrated 22 grand openings and ribbon cuttings, anniversaries all throughout the year, which is just about 2 a month. We had some months where we had several and some months where we just had one, but holy cow. I mean, that was really just amazing to watch the growth and to see how Tehachapi and the greater Tehachapi area has expanded and get to support all these new businesses.
Yeah, it was a ton of openings, getting to go to a lot of these openings, but also being able to take part in helping create the certificates that the mayor hands out at these events. I was like, oh my gosh, another one? Okay, another one. They just kept on coming. And I imagine it'll be quite the same story for next year. So we maybe need to hire somebody like part-time just to make certificates for all of the wonderful things that go on in town.
I love that. Hashtag goals.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
We welcomed 66 new members to the chamber this year. And so that has been really exciting. We had a lot of members who came back after several years, and then brand new businesses or businesses that have kind of gotten started and they're looking at the chamber and they're saying, oh, I want to be a part of that. And so that's really special for me and for our team and our board, because that's what we're trying to do is provide benefit and value for businesses that are either just one person, working at home, but still providing, services and products to our community, to the big guys, that have hundreds of employees, but they still want to show, hey, we are a part of Tehachapi and we support this community.
Right.
And so that was really exciting. In the media, we were in the news, or we published 88 articles in our local newspapers. We had the opportunity to do TV interviews with KEGT and ABC 23. We had over 10 interviews on TV, which was super fun. We were able to do 12 special podcasts with the city of Tehachapi and Tehachapot. And thank you so much. This was just, I love being here every month and I love sharing, and thank you for giving us that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. It is a pleasure every time to talk, just everything that the chamber has going on and talking all of our local business, because it's very important here at the city.
Thanks. And, our social media has grown too. And so when we engage with our social media and our audiences on Facebook and Instagram, we're engaging with thousands of people every time. And so our reach has continued to grow. And that's a really great way to promote all of our local businesses, our members, and getting the word out there. And some of our most popular benefits that we've seen this last year that we want to continue, we did 10 luncheons. Each luncheon served 40 to 100 businesses at each lunch. And we had 7 lunch and learns where people could come in and they could learn a very specific technique or strategy or something to help their business grow. And we did a 6-part marketing series where we did this opportunity where we had 22 businesses that took advantage of this, and they came in and they learned how to do social media marketing, how to do print marketing. Is a podcast right for you? Mm-hmm. So learning all of this and learning some AI technology and how that can help or hinder your business. And then learning targeted advertising strategies. Corey Costello came in from the city and he had some really great information to share with everyone. And I'm hearing all this feedback saying, oh, I tried this and I tried that and it worked so well. And so that warms my heart to know that our Lunch and Learns and our 6-part marketing series just really benefited and helped.
Awesome.
We have offered free consultations all throughout the year for these businesses to sit down and really learn more about them, and then to kind of help build a pathway moving forward. And then we also have our complimentary conference room, which many of our businesses take advantage of all throughout the week. And so those are some of the more popular things that we've done. And referrals. Referrals is a huge part. So we're open at a regular time. We answer the phones. We have our business directory on our website, tehachapi.com. And just in phone calls and visits alone, we've had 800 referrals.
Wow.
So that's not even including our website, which sees thousands and thousands of people every month. And so, yeah, that to me, that's amazing. That people are seeing the chamber as a place to come for information. And that's what we love, is that we can share and we can say, oh, you know what? The city of Tehachapi is going to be the best place for you to get started. Or, oh yeah, hey, come over to Mama Bear Brows. You're looking for, permanent cosmetics. She's the one for you. So that's an opportunity for us to network and share and get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very impressive statistics. And again, what a great resource that Chamber serves for our businesses all throughout the community.
Thank you so much. So that was then.
Yes.
This is now. So looking forward, January is just going to get kicked off with a huge bang.
Right.
So we have 3 ribbon cuttings coming up. And the first one is going to be Tehachapi. They opened their doors downtown a little over a year ago, and the space didn't quite work for what they wanted. And so they found a new location in the Save Mart parking lot right where Deco du Jour used to be. And so they have moved in, and it is a gorgeous space, and it really showcases all of their really amazing mattresses that they have and their Tempur-Pedic mattresses. And so they have this wonderful space. They will be celebrating a grand opening and ribbon cutting for that space. So that will be January 17th at 4 p.m. And then on January 18th, that's going to be a busy weekend, but we have Chiseling Image Luxury Aesthetics. They are opening their new location at 20241 West Valley Boulevard, Suite A. That will be Saturday, January 18th at 1 p.m. And they're going to be doing some live demonstrations from their professionals and some of their models. There's going to be food and fun from Mountain Coffee House and Sip and Dip. And there's going to be some awesome giveaways. So there's going to be a $100 gift card, and a couple people will get to win free haircuts for life.
Wow.
Right?
Sign me up.
It's like, right? It's like, okay, yep, I'm always there. But that was a really great incentive.
Nice.
So hopefully everyone listening, January 18th, head on over to that West Valley Boulevard, Suite A, to get an opportunity to win and to see this wonderful new boutique.
Yeah. Where exactly is this? In one of the shopping centers? What area is this?
Yes. Yeah. So if you're familiar with like Dr. Fagan's Eagle View Optometry, as you're going down Tehachapi Boulevard, you have like Sim Sanitation, and then you go down a little ways and there's Dr. Fagan's office. There's a chiropractic office inside this suite. And then Chiseling Image has just moved in there as well.
Okay. I'm going to have to take a peek because I still can't visualize where this is at, but I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, no worries. You can actually see them from the road as you're driving. So as you're driving down the road, kind of heading out of Tehachapi, look to the right, and then you'll see Chiseling Image on the building front as you're heading down that way.
All right.
And then on January 23rd, we have Bell Speech Pathology. They are doing their grand opening right down here in downtown Tehachapi area. They are located on West D Street off of Mill. So they're located at 227 West D Street, January 23rd at 4 p.m. Come on over. They'll have food and drinks and all kinds of fun stuff, but more so they'll be talking about what they offer to the community. So speech pathology is everything from, if you are struggling with a stutter and you want to overcome that, they can help. Or if you just have a hard time getting words out, it's like you formed it in your mind. You're like, yes, I've got it. And then it just doesn't come out the way that you want. They have a lot of techniques and strategies to help with that. So any type of communication, if you want to improve your communication in any way, they can help with that.
Nice.
So they're working with kids in our community. They're working with adults. They're working with anyone of any age. So it's a really great opportunity to come and learn what they have to offer.
That's a great resource.
Have a snack and then share the good news. We are also looking forward to Luxe Beauty Lounge. They are opening up. Well, they've opened up the last 2 weeks, and they have been very busy, very well received. And so they're excited to start planning their grand opening. They're hoping for the end of January. So everybody stay tuned. Social media, Greater Tehachapi Chamber of Commerce Business Service on Facebook, and Chamber Tehachapi on Instagram. We'll let you know those dates. And then Mountaintop Storage is getting closer and closer and closer every day. And so we're very excited to hear when they would like to do their grand opening as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. We have 2 new members that have joined. We have Kern Family Healthcare and Luxe Beauty Lounge. So thank you so much for joining and investing in the chamber. And this is the time of year where we start looking at Tehachapi's finest. This is an opportunity to celebrate a large business, a small business, a citizen of the year, and a nonprofit in our community. So we have reached out, we've asked everyone to nominate who you think deserves to get this very special award. And we need those nominations by January 9th. And I know that's a quick turnaround with the holidays, but please go to tehachapi.com. Right on the front page, there's a button there where you can go in and nominate your business. Or, if you're an employee and you love the business you're working at, you can nominate them. If you have recently been to a wonderful business, nominate them. If you see people doing amazing things in the community, go for it. Please, please, please. All right. So a quick note, we are going to be celebrating a little bit of a holiday break at the chamber. So we will be closed from December 24th until January 3rd. So we'll be hitting it hard as soon as we get back on the 6th, but just know that our offices will be closed during that time. But coming right back in January, we're going to have our first luncheon of the year, January 21st. It will be our community showcase. This is where we get to provide space for all of the nonprofit members of our chamber. And they will talk about all of their goals and their plans for 2025. And so this is an awesome opportunity for all of our business members to come in and learn what's happening in the community, learn about the events and the programs and the wonderful things that these nonprofits are doing, and see if maybe some of these things align with your own mission and goals. And maybe there's an opportunity to collaborate in some way. And last year, this was a really popular luncheon, and everyone came away with so many great, fresh, fun, energetic ideas. And it just really carried on throughout the whole rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Great way to get things started.
Yes. Yeah. Just kind of that refreshing, let's get some energy going for 2025.
Oh, yeah.
So that will be at 11:30, January 21st at the American Legion, Post 221, right here on F Street. We will have a lunch and learn at the end of the month on January 27th. Corey Kingsley will be running this. She has a master's degree in marketing, and she runs the social media for Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company. And she's had a lot of success with this, with getting creative with gifts and, taking bits and pieces from popular television shows and then putting them over some of her footage of the winery, and then making funny memes, funny jokes. And that has really spurred a lot of interest in Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company's social media, and it gets people over there on a regular basis.
Nice.
And so she wants to share a lot of her techniques, her strategies, and some of those very specific techniques that she uses with social media. So this is open to all of our members, or if you're a non-member, it's $20. And we'll have more details on where that'll be, but put it on your calendars for January 27th. And then the last thing that I want to say before we can dive into our special guest here today, Wine Walk.
Oh, yes, the Wine Walk.
Yes, we are so excited. Wine Walk, February 15th, noon to 5 p.m. This will be downtown Tehachapi. It's $75 per person, and you get 10 tastings, which is an opportunity to try 2 wines from almost every single vineyard that we have.
Wow.
Yes, all of our vineyards will be here, from Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company, Hochland Wines, Tehachapi Winery, Dorner Family Vineyards, Triassic, Los Viajeros, and Stray Leaves.
Awesome.
Yes. So everyone's bringing their gold medal, winning, wines out here. Mm-hmm. There's going to be live music from Flashback and several other wonderful local artists. There will be handcrafted chocolates to pair, as well as savory, bites to enjoy all throughout the day. There's going to be giveaways. With your ticket, you'll get a complimentary tote bag, because all of our businesses are going to have deals and specials and Valentine's things. And, if you see something you can't live without, or you want to spoil your loved one, then, grab that thing and stick it right in your tote bag. Yep, you'll get a complimentary glass. Thank you so much to the Semerenko team. They are our glass sponsor for this year. So thank you so much for making that possible to put on this event.
Cool.
Yes. So lots and lots of fun stuff. You can go to tehachapi.com to get more information, get all those wonderful details, and to buy those tickets.
All right.
So might be a fun, holiday, gift to give someone so they can look forward to something exciting happening on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
a gift to give yourself.
Exactly.
I'll take the Wine Walk.
Yes. So more details to come on that, but super excited.
Yes, that'll be a good time.
Yes.
All right. So, chamber business aside, there is so much going on, so much that went on, so much to go on. But one of the things that happened recently, as we said, was the grand opening of Mama Bear Brows. So, Amber, I am so curious. How did you get started in this industry?
Oh, wow.
That's kind of a loaded question.
Like I said, we're going to be here for a minute. No, I'm just kidding. Well, let's see. I've always been interested in the world of cosmetics growing up. Did pageantry and things like that as a kid, but I just the world of cosmetics has always intrigued me. I wasn't always like your typical girly girl. I didn't really dive into all of that until I got a little bit older. I was more of like your typical tom girl, country bumpkin, you know. So the fact that I went down this road is in itself sort of a miracle, because I love it and I love what I do, and I love how I make people feel. And that was one of the things that really kind of took me to this industry, because when I had it done myself, the confidence that I felt walking away was just immeasurable. And I knew that if I could bring that to other people, then that kind of, you know, that wholesome feeling you get when somebody just like looks at themselves and they're like, oh my gosh, you are an artist. It just, that feeling just warms you up inside. You know, it's like, it's better than having your first cup of coffee in the morning to me anyways. But I started out in law enforcement, and I got injured in 2020, and I just sat back and was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with myself? Well, there was a conversation that took place about 2 years prior to that with a permanent makeup artist in Palmdale. Her name is Natalie Mendez. We were joking, and she goes, well, if you ever decide you don't want to do this no more, I teach. And that kind of resonated with me, because I was like, wow, man, I could literally do this all day. Like, what you do is amazing. And lo and behold, God had plans, and he decided, you know what? I have a different path for you. And that's what I decided to do. I just decided to close my eyes and step into it. And I am so happy I did it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about what exactly is permanent makeup for those who might not know.
So permanent makeup is basically a form of tattooing. It is a different form of tattooing, I would say. Traditional tattooing, you get done maybe once. If you need a touch up, you can go back years down the line. Mm-hmm. However, with permanent makeup, in order to achieve that cosmetic, powdery makeup look, it's a little bit different of a technique. It's a little more superficial into the more epidermis layer of the skin. So we don't go deep into the skin, which is why it's kind of required every few years to get a touch up. And there's just different things. You know, when you go from, let's say, lip blushing to eyebrows or permanent eyeliner, each and every technique or service is catered to the client. Mm-hmm. So not everybody's the same. So you really have to pay attention as a permanent makeup artist to your depth, to the comfortability, because that's a big thing. A lot of people are afraid of permanent makeup because tattooing, when you sit and get a tattoo, it's not the most pleasant experience. But the good thing about permanent makeup is we do use numbing agents. Mm-hmm. I use lidocaine, really great lidocaine that typically, you know, numbs you for the most part. So I've never had one individual client that couldn't go through the procedure. So, and I've had a lot of ladies that hit this, I was their first tattoo. Yeah. And it was amazing to me, because it's always like, you don't have a tattoo? And they're like, no. I'm like, I am your first. Like, it's such an honor, you know, that they're willing to come in and trust me. And yeah, that's one of the main things, is that it is tattooing essentially. You know, permanent is in the word, but however, it's not necessarily permanent in the sense that one and done. Yeah. There's, you know, you get the original procedure done, and then about 6 to 8 weeks later, you come in for a touch-up, which perfects everything. And then after that, you're good to go for about it just depends, again, on your lifestyle. If you're somebody that loves to be in the sun, or, you know, like I'm a softball mom, so I know when I go out into the sun, I need to wear my baseball cap and SPF and all the things, because it's an investment, you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you follow that, then you get a little bit more longevity out of it. But if you're realistic and you're like, guess what? I'm going to be in the sun. I'm going to be doing all these things. My permanent makeup is just going to have to whatever. Then you're probably an annual person that comes in and just gets those annual touch-ups, and some people are good with that. It's fine. And it all just depends on your lifestyle. So that's why I always recommend a consultation first, coming in and getting the information, getting informed, and having that knowledge before you walk away and make your decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of lifestyle, there's so many different reasons as to why people could get or choose to get permanent makeup. But I would say one of those is being just kind of your, saving time in the morning instead of having to do your makeup every day. What are some of the, reasons or, reasons that people come in and get the permanent makeup?
Great question. Because a lot of people assume that people just get tired of doing their makeup and they don't want to deal with it. It's time saving 100%. That's the best part of it. But realistically, a lot of people come in because they might just feel like, I have a lot of elderly clients that come in that are just like, I can't really see very well. I've worked with amazing people that have had alopecia. That was an incredibly heartwarming and wholesome experience. I've dealt with past cancer survivors who just, through the process of chemo, you lose your hair, nothing ever grows back, quite like it does. So in those situations, it is really rewarding because it makes it more personal. There's so many different reasons. Time saving is one of the number one reasons. Absolutely. That's probably the best thing. I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten selfies from my clients who are out on a fishing boat who's there for 2 weeks on end, deep sea fishing, and she's like, look, my brows haven't moved. I am rocking it. And everybody's wondering, like, how do you stay so flawless all day? And I'm like, give them my business card, babe. So there's just so many different variety of reasons. And that's why I say it's incredibly important to research it and see if it's right for you, because some people are good with it and some people are like, yeah, I don't know, and that's why the consultation is important. You come in, we talk about it. I talk realistically. I'm transparent, open. I ask a lot of questions just to make sure that this is a decision that, you really want to move forward with.
Yeah. And at your ribbon cutting, I believe you'd mentioned something about surgical or reconstructive type permanent makeup. So that kind of goes along with, former cancer patients or of the likes. Can you talk a little bit more about that and your plans?
So this is something that's been kind of on my heart for a while. It's we call it paramedical tattooing. So essentially what that is basically if you're a victim of, let's say, you have a car accident and you have some scarring that is, obviously us as ladies, we always have that feeling of, oh my gosh, somebody can see the scar, and realistically, nobody really knows, but it's you. You're the one that sees it. You're the one that is like, I wish I could do something about that. Paramedical tattooing is basically scar camouflage. So what you do is you come in, you get your consultation. There's a whole process that goes along with it. But this can vary from surgical scars to stretch marks to breast cancer, nipple reconstruction. So basically when you come in, a lot of breast cancer survivors, if they have a double mastectomy, they don't keep the nipple. So a lot of ladies, even though they have that reconstructive breast surgery done and they have their breasts, they're lacking the nipple. And to you or I, that might seem like something, like, okay, but to that person dealing with that, it's a big deal. So it's a very intimate, personal, catered service. And I'm excited because that's one of the reasons that I want to give back. So, sorry. Breast cancer has affected so many lives, and I've had a lot of great experiences with so many people, and their stories are touching, and it's definitely a service I'm excited to provide soon. So I'm in the process of training and stuff, so this isn't something that's going to be immediately released, but I want to make sure because I'm one of those kind of perfectionist where I'm like, I have to master this before I release it.
Right.
So yeah, it's in the works and it's something that's going to be really rewarding. And I think it's going to affect a lot of lives.
Yeah, that is amazing. I think just as you said, there's so many things that could happen to somebody to alter their physical appearance that they, people, that's all that they can see in themselves is, a certain flaw. But to be able to help transform that
Right.
thing or cover it up in a way to make it so that the person's more confident. That's huge. It's
Yeah.
life changing, you know?
It really is. The difference I see in people from the moment they walk into my door to the time they leave. And then even when, I keep in touch with so many of my clients because you walk in a client, but you leave a friend, So that's one of the things that's also rewarding to me is the lives that I don't necessarily think of it as I'm touching their life, but they really touch mine, and that's one of the things that is so exciting about being in this new location and being embraced by the community and having so much support. It's been overwhelming almost because it's like, wow, like I have so many people that really are in my corner rooting for me and like, yeah, this is awesome. Go for it. And I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go, So yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun to network with other, artists and stuff around the industry. And it's growing. If you're not growing, what are you doing?
Right.
And
that's exactly to that point, growth. You started out in another studio, right? And then now you're on your own. Tell me a little bit about, one, for the first place, where are you at? And then kind of how are you feeling now that you have your own location to yourself?
Yeah. So in 2022, I opened my original business out of a cute little hole-in-the-wall salon. I won't even say it's a hole in the wall, but it's off of South Street. It's kind of hidden, but what did we call a hidden gem?
Yes.
Because there are so many amazing girls that work in that space. We have 3 estheticians, and there's also a nail tech that does like the most amazing gravity-free pedicures you've ever had in your life. I call it a very expensive nap. And just the atmosphere and environment was great. It was what I needed when I originally started. I had the support of the girls in there who literally like, I've never owned a business. I've never ran a business. So I was starting from ground zero. And I had these well-established girls who have been running their businesses that were willing to take me under their wing and help me through this whole process and learn like how to operate my software. Or when I got my finger stuck in a Cavicide jar, they helped me get it out. Like things like that. So yeah, we have so many great memories in that place. And it was what I needed when I did. When I decided to finally expand and get my own place, that was a big decision for me to make because I knew that meant not having that support. But I think I kind of tricked myself into that because I do. They still, we just had dinner like a week ago and they're still like, we're so proud of you. Like they're family, you know what I mean? But using the analogy of one of the estheticians there by the name of Avi, she said, it's like you're a plant in a pot and you're just outgrowing your pot. Now you're putting yourself in a new pot, into a bigger pot. And I just was like, yeah, like that's exactly what it is, because I've grown as an artist, as a person, as a businesswoman. Never in a million years did I ever think I would be an entrepreneur. So that was something that, man, it's life-changing. And I encourage anybody out there, if you have a dream, chase it and follow it. Don't stop, So find your tribe, find your group. That's going to push you through it.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. And I love that analogy. It really is a great way to put it. And so now you are off Mill Street, correct?
Yes. So I am right across from where Mountain Coffee is. So if you walk right across the street by Tangled Salon, I'm a couple doors down. I'm in a great location now. I've got my logos on my windows. And that's another thing is it's so much easier to find. I had so many clients that would come from so far around. I've had clients from Anaheim, from Big Pine. Up and down, just all over the place who've come to have their services done with me. And it's always like I found myself trying to stand out on the street like, hey, waving my hands over here, at the other location. But as we're here, like you plug it into your GPS and you're like, oh, heck, I'm already there, So it's really nice. It's that knowing that it's going to be more convenient for people to find me and to just, and my door's always open. Walk in and get information if you want. I'm always just there to be informative first and foremost. So
yeah, that's huge, especially with these procedures that are permanent, semi-permanent.
Yeah, but it's a big decision.
It definitely is. And so if people are interested, are you accepting new clients right now? What's your process like?
Yeah, always. So I am online, my website and everything. If you go to my social media, you can go to Instagram and look up mama_bear_brows. I have so many different handles, but if you go to Mama Bear Brows on Instagram or even on Facebook, my business website link is always up there in the top of my bio. You can book a free consultation right there through my website. Come in, get the information, and then we book your service that day. And the process is pretty simple. I keep it easy for my clients to communicate with me to make sure that everything that they need is taken care of in one easy step.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm just thinking we're right before Christmas and things.
Yeah.
Do you offer like gift cards and such for
Absolutely.
folks?
Yeah, I have gift certificates available. So if gentlemen,
Yeah.
she wants brows. I'm just saying. So if you're like, what do I get my wife for Christmas? I mean, even if it's not brows, I also offer microneedling, which is an intense anti-aging treatment. It's a great service for gals that are starting, like I'm 42 and I'm getting to that age where I look in the mirror and I'm like, what are we going to do with this? Like, what is all of this that's going on? And microneedling is a great option for that. It's truly minimally invasive. It's an intense treatment, but it's not like your traditional peels when you go to a med spa and your very intense chemicals and things that are used. It's a very simple procedure where you come in, I create micro injuries to the face, and what happens at that point with hyaluronic acid is it forces your body to start producing its own collagen again. Because again, I'm in my 40s and my body, it doesn't produce the things that it used to produce. Like I'm looking like, okay, what? My mama told me this was coming, but now we're here. And it's a great way to just fill in those fine lines, those wrinkles, or if you have like acne scars, that's another big reason people come in and do microneedling treatments. It also brings like your pigment back to your skin, your color back to your skin. It makes you look alive. It makes you feel, your youthful glow comes back. And the best thing about microneedling is that the results continue to get better down the line. And that's another wonderful thing is if you have products that you love to use, your anti-aging products, microneedling works really well with that stuff because when you create those microchannels, it gives your skin the ability to absorb those products that you love so much. So, and like I tell everybody, it's not copy and paste. This isn't something that is fits the bill with every single person. But this is a service that is really, it can be for any demographic. It's not specific to women. It can also be for men if guys are feeling like, oh man, because guys, we know you too. We know you're looking in the mirrors too, and we're getting there. Especially if you're class of 2001. If you start using retinol, it's time. It's time. So yeah, it's a great service. There's also another microneedling service for men who might be dealing with some hair loss. There's a way that we can microneedle the scalp and kind of help stimulate that hair growth again. There's so many benefits to it. It's really an amazing service, and I'm excited that I'm able to provide that. So I'm one of 2 providers in town that are legally licensed to do that. And it's a very rewarding experience.
Absolutely. So a little something for everybody.
A little something for everybody.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, any other thoughts? Like, how are you feeling now that you're, open and ready to go here downtown?
Wow. You were talking about the wine walk and I was like, as a business, how can I,
Yeah, there you go.
That's exciting. And that's what's fun about being in the new location is like, for the Christmas parade, which was amazing. I actually got to sit right out in front of my business and watch all of the fun festivities and just see the community come together. And that's the big thing is like, I'm so community based. Like that's what since we moved to Tehachapi in 2014, I've done so many community service hours in this area. And just because we love it, I love being around the people. I love being around this small community. It's definitely a unique town. And growing up in a small town just down the road in Mojave, I've always had that ingrained in me because that's if you don't put into your community, you really can't complain, right?
Yeah.
So I love being involved, and being in that location gives me the more opportunities to be able to do that and to meet different people and to meet different walks of life. And just like, like I said, we're all in this crazy thing called life on this big spinning rock together. Why not make it fun?
Right.
So.
And get looking good.
And make yourself look good. That's right.
And feeling good.
And feeling good. That's the best. That's the number one thing is how you feel internally that's what matters.
Yeah, that is huge. And also really cool, the being able to be downtown now for you,
Yeah.
you're right. Just being able to be in it makes
yeah.
all the difference. The new connections you're able to make
Absolutely.
and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And with the help of the chamber, with your grand opening,
Chamber's been
ribbon
amazing.
cutting. Yes.
Yes. The ribbon cutting was a lot of fun. met a lot of new people from the chamber. And as we joked about before we started, it was kind of funny that the fire department got called because there was such a big crowd. And I loved it, though, because the chamber, they were like my personal bodyguards. And they're like, it's our grand opening. Not today, so it was fun. And it's like that's what I look forward to, is that meeting, the leaders in our community and just having a conversation and saying, hey, what can I do? Use me. I'm here. If you need somebody to man, a booth or something, like just whatever, you know what I mean? Just friendships, making those connections and those networks, and just having that in the back of my mind that, oh, so-and-so has this. Okay, cool. Because again, in a small community like this, we need each other.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Well, I am excited to see you guys open. I know lots of folks are as well.
Yeah.
You guys, you're
Thank
close
you.
enough to me now where I can just walk from my house and come get my brows done.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I'll be excited.
Yes.
Definitely. And that's another fun thing is I get to walk to different places for lunch now. I'm
Right.
like, oh, look at this. I got Coffee Mill right there. I got, there's so many things. A new Mexican restaurant that just opened, or whatever the case may be. It's so nice being so close to everything.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Remind us again, where can people find you to learn more about your services?
Yeah, so I'm on the corner of Mill Street and what is that?
F.
F Street. It's F Street. So I'm learning. I'm still learning. So F Street and Mill Street. I'm a couple of doors down from Tangled Salon. You'll see my little sparkly lights. So just look for the girly stuff on the windows. That's me.
Love it. And then Mama _brows wait.
Mama
hold on.
_bear _brows. There you go.
That's it on Instagram, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a quick question. How did you come up with Mama Bear?
Yeah.
Mama Bear brows.
Wow, that's fun. So I've always been kind of like I don't know how you would say it, like the protector of people. I'm just very like the people I love and stuff. So I just kind of got coined that name when I went through an academy, and the kids in the academy. So when I went through the academy, I was 32, and the kids in my class were literally like 21, 22, 23. And I felt like, oh my gosh, you guys are babies. Like, what are you even doing here? So I kind of took on that motherly role for a lot of those kids, and just kind of, they just would call me Mama Bear or Ma Belle. That was another name. So I don't think Ma Belle would have looked good on, on the windows. But Mama Bear was just something I've always been called, because you could come to me and confide in me and, have that guidance, or I'll just listen, you know what I mean? And in certain situations, if you need help, I'm always willing to help. I've always just been like the motherly type to people. So Mama Bear was definitely one of those things. Like, you don't mess with my cubs. You don't mess with my people, So, and the fact that it goes kind of with the mountain theme, a lot of businesses around here are Tehacha's insert business, demographic. So I was like, Tehacha brows? Nah, let's go with Mama Bear brows. So it's got that mountainy, and it's country, and that's what I am. I'm a homegrown country bumpkin, like. You'll find me in the backyard with my chickens on my days off, So that's how I roll, and it just felt right. It just felt like it fit.
I like it. That's a good. I think that carries well, as you were saying. I mean, it just as people, and you were saying in the academy, we're confiding in you. The whole getting permanent makeup is kind of something that you have to obviously build trust with the person doing that, and so that works very well. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I tried hard. It is not hard picking business, or not easy, I should say, picking business names. It was something that for hours I was like, what are we going to do? There's only so many things you could do that were brows. But now that I have all these other services like eyeliner and lips and microneedling, and then soon paramedical tattooing, I'm like, well, maybe we could drop the brows and just do permanent. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, it could definitely evolve.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. Claire, anything else in closing?
Oh, I've just really enjoyed hearing your story, and thank you so much
you.
for coming in today.
And I
And-
appreciate you so much. You do so much for our community. You're just a godsend.
Well, thank you so much for that. I love it. I love our community. Just that you were talking about how much you love Tehachapi, and I have felt very similarly. And so anything that we can do as the chamber, to help support the community in any way, that's what we're here for. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. Amber, any thoughts in closing?
Book your consultations. Come see me.
There we
and I have
go.
a coffee bar, so we don't have to do permanent makeup. Come and have a come have a cup of coffee with me.
Nice.
I love it. Get your information, get your
Yes.
coffee, and just learn all about the world of permanent makeup.
Yes.
I love it. Claire, Amber, thank you both so much for coming in today. I learned a lot.
Thank you so much for having
Yes,
me.
thanks for having us.
Of course. And thanks to everybody who is listening. If you have any questions or comments for Amber or for Claire with the Chamber, you can email us media@TehachapiCityHall.com or send us a DM on social media at City of Tehachapi on all platforms. As always, we appreciate you tuning in and hope to catch you back here next time on Tehachapod.